Welcome to our overview and tour of NetSupport Notify, our desktop alerting and communication solution. On the screen in front of you, you'll see the NetSupport Notify console, the one of three components that is utilized within the NetSupport Notify architecture. The console is the application used for creating alerts and messages and sending them out to your user base. These messages are routed by our gateway, which is our central component for receiving and delivering messages, and ultimately forwards on to the agent component, which is installed on each device that you wish to receive those messages. Perhaps the easiest way of highlighting very quickly the NetSupport Notify architecture is to run through a simple schematic. Okay, so here's our enterprise, and you'll see when we send an alert from our console through our notification server, it's sent to our LAN and WAN-based devices. When they receive their alerts, they also send back information confirming receipt of those messages, which come back to our server and through to our console for our real-time reporting. As simple as that. So let's have a look at the three components individually. The first, the NetSupport Notify console, which we can see on the screen here. As a starting point, we're presented with a message box allowing us to enter a caption and some text. The caption will be the main attention grabbing text that is accompanying each alert that's sent. So let's put something in here. The mail server is down, and the text message from the tech department, in this case maybe, don't call us, it is in hand. So now we've got our message, we can choose some options. The first is always ensure visible. In simple terms, if we check that option, the notification will be received on each desktop and will automatically be displayed square and center on the screen in the foreground. Our next option is having a display timer. A display timer means that once the notification is received on a desktop, after a given period, in this case 10 seconds, it will automatically close and disappear as well. Particularly handy if some of the recipient devices are information panels around the offices that don't have users directly associated with them. So we can enable our automatically close after timer setting, and we can also give users the option to close it quicker at any point just by clicking on the acknowledgement box. Finally, for more important alerts, we can also play a sound to accompany the alert. We'll come on to configuring those in due course. On the right hand side here, you'll see we can set the severity of our message from a regular piece of news, a technical announcement, an alert, to something really critical, perhaps a fire in the building. In the case of this one here, it's a technical alert, so we'll specify technical, and when we can choose to either schedule this alert to be sent at a later date or at regular intervals, or we can choose to simply send it now. For this example, let's send it now, and you'll see we're connected to one notification gateway. Here it is listed with its address, and off that we currently have 5 computers broken down into 3 different departments. Again, we will talk about how we can configure and customize the department structure. For now, let's just send the record to everybody, but what we will ask for is to actually record the acknowledgement from each user back to our reporting history. So let's send the message and see what we get. And you'll see very quickly on my computer, I've now got my mail server notification, the strap line along with the supporting text, and it's displayed on my screen. And because I set my display timer at 10 seconds, the message is already gone. You'll also notice that I've actually got confirmation down here that it was received on all 5 target computers. So now would be a good time to have a look at the history and understand how we track the delivery of these messages. So selecting the history tab, and you'll see we have a history of all notifications. Here's the one that we sent, and you can see here we have confirmation that it was sent out to those computers, and because we sent it on a 10-second display and then hide, each one shows that it was played and then timed out at the end. We also have history here of previous messages that have been sent out and those where they've been acknowledged by a user. As you'd expect, we can filter this summary information based on a date range, severity type, or even those that were sent to or by a specific user and operator. Let's pop out of there for now, and let's talk, having looked at the history, at the customization options that are available in the product. You probably saw there that we had the messages that can be customized, so we can add our logo, as you can see here. And because our logo has a black border, if we use our background color, it will take that information from there. Of course, we can customize our caption text as well as our background color. And where we mentioned the fact that we could accompany an alert with a sound, as you can see here, we can incorporate different sounds for different types of alert levels. Once that's done, we specify to update, and that will update that information on the server, and it will then pass out our new look and feel configuration to all our agents on a gradual basis over the next 60 minutes. So we've now got our infrastructure, we've got our messages that we can send out quickly and effectively, and we've got our history that allows us to track when those messages have been sent. Now, of course, the key to Notify is the ability to deliver immediacy in our messaging. Whilst an email is an effective way of sending out information to all users, we have no control over when those emails will be read and responded to by our staff within the organisation. With NetSupport Notify, we can ensure that all devices receive the messages instantly, and for items of high severity, we can also track receipt. So, typical examples within the workplace can be something as simple as sending a message silently to all desktops to advise that there is a person in reception with a package that needs signing and they're looking for a certain member of staff, all the way through to a warning that there's a fire in the building and that staff must exit via the west exit, for example. On something like that, we might want to track to ensure that we have evidence to show that all staff not only received the message but acknowledged it at the time. Now, as we showed on the schematic and we've just delivered here, we sent our notifications out through our central point, our server, or as we refer to it as our gateway component. And you'll see we have our notification server shown on the screen here with its address, serial number, and the maximum number of agents that can be connected to it. As you'd expect, NetSupport Notify can support multiple servers. Perhaps in an environment for an organisation that has many dispersed offices, they may have a notification server in each location, and then as a result, messages can be sent from a single point, either to one specific location, or when it's something more serious, perhaps background technical issues, can be sent to all remote offices simultaneously, and again tracked and managed. In addition, for both the agents and the notification servers, we have built-in redundancy, ensuring that every agent can have the address of at least 2 notification servers, so that if for any reason one is offline, messages will automatically be routed via the second server instead. Again, the key to NetSupport Notify is ensuring that there is always a guarantee of delivery for your critical alerts. Okay, let's close that one down. So we've had a look at sending out a quick message and tracking the acknowledgement and reporting thereof. Let's have a look at how we can schedule messages. Now the first thing is we may have routine messages that we need to use over and over again. So we actually have a history here of the most recent ones. So let's take the example I used earlier of a package in reception for Mr. Smith. And rather than send it now, what we're going to do is we're going to schedule that message. And when we schedule it, we can either do it daily, weekly, monthly and so on at a particular time, and we can start from this date and then continue either forever or to an end point. So this allows us to create pre-canned alerts that are sent out on a repeat frequency across the enterprise. Good examples, if we were in an education establishment, might be a reminder to all staff at 4 in the afternoon to don't forget to power off your computers and so on. It could be something that in your organisation every Friday afternoon the mail server is purged and therefore a message is sent to staff on Friday lunchtimes to remind them to remove any older legacy items in their mailbox to reduce down file sizes, or something along those lines. But again, the capability is built into NetSupport Notify to ensure that messages can be sent once or on a repeat basis with a minimum of effort for everybody concerned. So, given that the gateway is the key central point for delivering alerts and receiving updates and history back from individual PCs, let's have a look at the configuration options available for the gateway component. As you can see, we can control what ports and IP interfaces the gateway machine listens on for our particular component. We can also control where the event log is stored for that gateway machine, and of course a full history then of activity is recorded away. We have a keys tab here which controls what keys have been created on the gateway for access. We can choose to control access to the gateway in terms of being able to send messages by creating operator accounts, and if we enable the option here, we can specify which operators within your organization are able to actually send notifications. We also have the ability to manage the history, so how long our notification and alert records are stored within our database. And of course, finally, we control our license for NetSupport Notify, and again, multiple licenses can be included within this. It's worth noting, both in terms of operators and subsequently when we talk about the agent configuration, that NetSupport Notify can integrate with your existing Active Directory infrastructure and utilize user accounts and department structures straight from that. Furthermore, when the product is installed, we also provide you with a couple of example AD templates that you can use so that you can always ensure that all PCs automatically apply to your company standards without any additional effort or input on your own part. So let's just close our gateway configuration utility down for a second. And as if by magic, we have our agent configurator. And our agent simply has here details of our notification server's address, where we've set security, our key, and our confirmation of our security key, the department that the PC is and this agent is currently in this case the sales department. And again, if we were integrating with AD, our ADM template would automatically pick up where that user was assigned and assign it accordingly. And as our redundancy option, the address of a second notification server as backup should the primary server become unavailable. Really is as simple as that. So we've covered at a fairly quick pace the main functionality within NetSupport Notify. We've identified that you need the control software installed to send out your messages. We have a gateway in the center, which is our central point for handling the delivery of those messages, and we have our agents that are installed on each PC we want to receive. You may well not wish to visit every PC in your organization to deliver the agent. So as well as it being available as an MSI installer so that you can push it out with your own software distribution software, NetSupport Notify also provides its own deploy utility, allowing you to identify machines by a given IP address range or utilizing Windows networking. It will browse and discover those PCs and allow you to push out the agent automatically to those computers with a minimum of effort. Again, another handy feature within NetSupport Notify. Popping back to our notification console, you'll see it's a Windows application and it's sitting on the screen in front of us now. We also provide the notification console as a web-based component, and when the console is installed, an additional folder is installed on the computer which contains the ASP pages and the supporting files needed to have a web-based notification console. This folder can be added to your web server, and then any member of staff accessing your company intranet with the appropriate user permissions has the ability to send quick alerts over the network without the need for any locally installed console. Again, the heart of NetSupport Notify is simplicity to ensure it can be used by everyone that's approved and messages can be sent as quickly as possible, and also flexibility in ensuring it can be used in a number of different environments, and again with simplicity at heart. Okay, well that wraps up our tour of NetSupport Notify and the configuration options available for each of the key components. As I hope you're aware, a free 30-day evaluation copy of NetSupport Notify is available for download from our website www.netsupportnotify.com, and that can be used on up to 50 devices for you to fully evaluate the functionality and capabilities of the product. If you have any more specific questions or need additional advice, then please contact one of our account managers and we'll be happy to deliver a one-to-one tailored webinar for you. Thank you again for your time.